right, I have Miss Coffee crowned now, and, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, chat. I don't know how insane she's gonna look here, but I can theorize that she's gonna be pretty insane. Because the thing is, with Miss Coffee, she does 21 or 20 hits, I don't know, on her, burst. Or he skill, not burst. But, that's basically Ayaka. That legitimately Ayaka level. Like, she's doing a little less than Ayaka, but Ayaka, isn't 55% res shredding and is mainly played on field. I really feel like they nailed what they needed to do with Miss Coffee here. I don't think there is another way to see it. I think this is exactly what, this team needed. This is exactly how this should have gone. Let's go ahead, hit him with that, hit him with this, and then, yep, and then we'll have that. And, yeah, I mean, I don't know. 25. So what I just saw there was, Miss Coffee, and she did 30,000. I need to look at that again, because she's doing 30,000. That's 600,000 damage off field. Like 630,000 damage off field. Just so you know, that's pretty good. Just simply put, that's pretty good. The only thing I can notice on this team is that Ayaka herself needs more energy recharge, and I have, not 0 energy recharge on my Ayaka anymore. Go ahead, and we're gonna just, EQ, right? We'll have a Q here. So let's see what damage we're hitting. So 24, 25, right? Yeah, oh, wow. And then we go back in, and now we're doing 43. Yeah, because, like, you count Shinha's buff, and it's like she could be doing 600,000 damage. And it's very clear that she's doing probably over 500,000 damage. And with Shinha, she's doing like 600,000 damage. And that's off field. And, I mean, that's not C1, which is what I like to compare my characters at. That's pretty insane. So basically, near 600,000 damage, most likely it is 600,000 damage, right? I'm not, the guy who's going to sit there and, do the calculations. I like to look at the stuff in game and sort of understand what it is. So she's reaching very high numbers just of off-field damage. And don't forget, Furina's getting buffed off of her, and then Ayaka and Shinha are also getting buffed off of her. And, she could be doing more, because I mean, my Shinha is only, at this level of, res shred. It's not nothing, right? She has level 6 talent, right? We're only missing 4% res shred here. There is something to be said, like, she could be doing some more damage. And it's kind of a pretty good, strength for her. And, keep in mind, she has 95% crit rate. She has 95% crit rate when we do this, because we have cryo resonance, and the guy will be applied with cryo. So, and she is a character who is cryo, and she wants to buff other cryo characters, right? So, I mean, there's not much else for me to say. We can go ahead and we can, test out more teams. Like, let's go ahead and let's do a Ganyu, right? So we're going to start off with the Shinha, hold E, and then we'll do this and this. Okay, 70,000. Right, I forgot. I'm not even calculating her burst numbers, right? So that's pretty insane, right? And then we can see, so how much damage is she doing? 24,000 on this team? Just 24,000 on this team. I mean, that's not bad. Again, that's, 480,000 to 500,000 there, if you just do that much, and then you have 70,000 just from her burst, Q skill. So, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then you have Shinha, who's bursting. Yeah. Miss Coffee is definitely doing over 600,000 damage. So, something I probably need to recheck. So something I need to, active party members in the AoE. So Ganyu is only getting the 20% cryo damage. I don't know why. I thought this was just, she gives 20% cryo damage when her burst is up. That is not what happens there. She's doing 600,000 damage very easily, maybe even reaching upwards to 700,000 damage per rotation. I mean, it's pretty good. I do obviously have Staff of Homa on her, so it's a little bit unfair to say, like, we have Staff of Homa. If I was really comparing her, I would rather have her at C1 or 0, which would be a 4-star weapon or a Battle Pass weapon, right? One of those. I just, you can see my polearm selection. I need a time when we have just, like, not necessarily a character to farm for or anything. If we can have that one day, I'll be able to, level up a lot more polearms, because right now I am low. and I don't really have that many pole arms leveled up. I mean, I have a decent chunk. Like, I need to get this leveled up and stuff. Like, I need a couple of these leveled up, definitely. But yeah, there's not much else I can say. Like, there just isn't. This character on this team is just doing more than, you know, Fiorina. And that's not to say, you know, Fiorina's worse. I do still think, you know, Fiorina's better. I think in my last video with Miss Coffee, I was like, oh, Miss Coffee's better. And I didn't preface that with the freeze team only, right? Obviously, because, like, Fiorina, she's on any team that you really want her to be on, kind of. Like, if you need her to go on a team, she can. Miss Coffee is not that kind of support. But I'm just simply saying, like, Fiorina here, she is outclassed by, you know, Miss Coffee on this team. And, like, that's not to put down Fiorina at all. This is literally just saying, look at how strong this character is. She is better than Fiorina on a freeze team. And because this 55% res shred, I feel like I didn't think it would be that crazy comparatively to 36%. Because, you know, if you know, it halves the res shred beyond 0%. So if you have an enemy who's at 10% res shred, you'll minus their 10% res shred, but then you still have 45% that gets cut in half and is only like 27% or something. I don't know. But, you know, it works and it's strong. It is. It genuinely, it's pretty good. So, yeah, I'm very excited. Tomorrow's video, I'll probably go through and I will be testing C0 versus C1 Miss Coffee. And then, you know, we'll have C1 Miss Coffee and we'll be able to see her damage then. The damage is going to be quite massive. To simply say, just to simply say, this is gonna be quite massive because you know, like she's gonna get her C1, and it's gonna be a 20% overall damage increase, right? And 20% of like 700,000, like because I am leaning more towards I think it's 700,000, right? So 20% of 700,000, I don't even need to do a calculation for it. It's 140,000. So that means she's doing 840,000 damage per rotation, right? Obviously, if you give her Staff of Homa and stuff, whatever. I mean, that's just good. That's simply just good. And yeah, and that's 20% of like not actually 20% because you would need 200% crit damage for it to be 20%. Actually, I just realized I've neglected a team, and that is this team. I have not done this team. I want to see what kind of damage it does because, I mean, it has to compete with a, like, 700,000 Mavwika burst, so it's not exactly, you know, easy for this to be my new best team for it, but we'll see. For simplicity's sake, you know, Shieldon can just have her artifacts stolen for a little bit, and we're just going to steal Shieldon's artifacts. I will be very gentle with them, Shieldon. Thank you very much. I will not break them, and yeah, let's go ahead. And let's see what kind of devastating damage we can get out of Nevi here. Because I am confident that this is going to be pretty good. I have heard people already talk about it. It seems to be pretty strong. Let's go ahead, heal up there. Let's go ahead. Oh, wait, are we not going to have enough cryo? All right, let's see. Ooh. Yeah, in terms of Nevi's personal damage, no. Oh, so keep in mind, we can see now she's hitting 27,000, meaning she's hitting 540,000, you know, without Shenhe. That's not huge, right? Obviously, but that's because of Seatlolly, you know, reacting with Hydro. So Nevi's personal damage didn't go up that much, meaning, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, this isn't going to be his best team. For my level of like gameplay, this isn't going to be his best team. I need to look at Seatlolly real quick. So this does add to whatever, right? This just is whatever hit, right? So it's possible that C1 Seatlolly helps that. But, you know, this just isn't going to be the best Nevi team because for someone who, you know, compares these characters, you would have Mavwika here. She would do like 500,000 damage or 700,000 damage. Actually, yeah, I think it was more around 700,000 damage. You'd have Shieldon in here. She would buff up, you know, Nevi's damage, and then he'd be doing like almost double the damage that he's doing now just with the like constellations and everything. This seems more like oh, I have everybody C0, R0. You know, that seems more like what this team is because these two characters are going to do a lot of damage together. And, you know, Nevi without his weapon is going to be like 20% worse. But, you know, it's probably better for my use case when I'm comparing these characters with their weapons and stuff. You know, it's probably better. So, yeah, just something I thought I would tack on because I forgot completely about the Nevi team that I needed to test. Yeah, so thank you guys. When I first was like, you know, oh, they're making a free support, You know, oh, she res shreds. Okay, that's pretty good. You know, that's not enough, you know, to make it her insane. Her off-field damage is going to be what sets her apart. Her off-field damage set her apart, most certainly. And now it's like, well, she's doing off-field damage. Fiorina's doing off-field damage. Mavuika doesn't have off-field damage dealers. She has supports. And Mavuika, you know, she does 5 million damage at C2R1, 3 million damage at C0R1. How are we going about this? How? Because, I mean, it's big. You know, this is pretty big. So simply say, I am very excited for Skirk more now than ever, but also not, because, like, if she ends up being better than Mavuika, I think we're in a bad... That's not good, because Mavuika had a flaw built into her where it was, oh, she's, you know, the best DPS, but she has to rely on Natlan characters, and that was kind of like the way that you can balance out, like, oh, I still like my Arlecchino, whereas Skirk, I mean, we don't know, but she's probably not going to have that sort of stuff. You know, she'll probably be freeze-oriented, but freeze-oriented is nothing compared to I literally need Natlan characters, right? That's different. We'll see when she comes out. Right now, I'm literally just speculating, you know, based off of basically nothing. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.